Hey, what's going on, brother?
Brother.
He's going to play a little bit of poker and see if we get some conversation going, is all.
I'm just getting situated, so I don't want to be all noisy and shit.
All right. And of course, as always, guys, this is an online play chip game. And so it's not so much poker as it is bingo. Changes the whole dynamics of the game.
So I caught your stream on Benton's channel a little bit, and I appreciate you speaking up for me. However, he does have me over the balls. He did apologize for treating me harshly, however, which I can appreciate that. However, like I said, he does have me by the balls. I should not be giving out too much information about health and wellness if I am smoking. I can't deny that one. I've been
Correct.
thinking about that one on the way, and so, but I appreciate you saying something.
Anytime.
This accountability thing, it comes step by step, you know?
Yep, absolutely. And it's like I said myself, I admitted to people that I still have a cigarette every now and then myself. So,
And it's a hard fucking nut to crack, man. Doesn't mean I can speak for anything else but being uncracked.
well, yeah, it's nothing near anywhere near the um, pack and a half or so I was smoking a day before. Have one every
Right.
once in a while. And eventually I hope to be able to quit. But
Yeah. It's one thing that I constantly have gone to as a false sense of relief in it, that false sense of relief has gotten indoctrinated to my head because of my own actions. And well, isn't that addiction?
yep, and that's and that's why I say, I I try to urge everybody. You gotta come to a point where you gotta realize you are at fault to some degree or another. You are at fault. So at least step up and take that, and you'll find out how much easier it's going to get on you.
I would agree. And it's not even that it's easier, it's that it's easier to accept the reality that is because you've already accepted it.
Yep. I was waiting for this guy over here to go all in again. Watch this. I'm going to run the clock down now. See, now we got 5 players against me, and they're all substantially less, except for this guy here. And he's
Make sure you scream bingo when you win. Got him, bitch.
Bingo. You see it down here in the chat? Yeah, see, now they're playing stupid. Oh, 238.
I've never been much for cards, to be honest with you.
Oh, I love cards. It's one of my favorites.
Being a creative mind, there's not enough probability in it. Because I say, why can't I make a Jack and a King together? I mean, hell, Paul and Jack hang out all the time. It's possible.
Yeah.
Did you get to enjoy any of yesterday's stream when I bowed out respectfully?
Well, yeah, I was down in chat the whole time.
Okay. Notice I was up today. That's all I'll say on it. Honestly, man, I really appreciate people like yourself, people like Paul, obviously, people like Dick. I have a lot of admiration for Dick. He's a smart man. It's nice to have people that are willing to care about you enough to keep you accountable in the small things, so you can have big wins.
Yep.
And it's just a standard of excellency, much like the Spartans. If there's any group that we would probably represent, it would be along those lines, because those men stood by themselves and were able to stand together in a group.
You want to play that game, Donk? We'll play the clock. I'll play it every chance. I'm going to play that clock every chance I get. Watch this. Then blinds go up. I'm top dog.
Make them sweat, buddy. Make them sweat.
Those blinds will eat him up.
I understand enough to lose my money. I'll put it that way.
And I'll call this for 30 just to use the clock again if he wants to push it.
Right. You ever had a high-strung dog?
Yes. Eddie is high-strung.
This one of mine, if I don't push him around for 15, 20 minutes every day, he gets wily as a motherfucker and just gets naughty.
Yeah, I heard him whining in the background.
And it's not like he's this small little puppy or anything. He's like a 65, 70-pound pit bull. So to throw him around for 20 minutes takes some fucking effort. Not to mention that you get bit all the time, and he doesn't mean to hurt you or anything like that, but his fucking teeth are sharp and he's got a strong jaw. I'll put it this way. I wouldn't want to ever come into my house if I didn't know him, though.
Yeah, same here. He weighs about 100 pounds now.
What's that?
Eddie weighs about 100 pounds now.
Oh, nice. Mine has this fetish with looking out the window for anything and anyone that could possibly come near our property, as he is the king and master of all that is security, including over the cats.
You see that one?
What'd you hit?
I got 6 knockouts out of 8 so far, and there's one guy left.
And I did see a Jack and a King in there.
Yeah, he had a Jack King. I had Ace King. Ace popped and I got him. Took his whole stack.
Oh, so the Jack is not needed. Gotcha.
No.
Funny how that works.
See, now blinds are what? 50, 100.
Who else is in chat?
I think I saw Brielle down there. Travis Turner's there. Hey, Travis. Panel link's down there if you guys want to come up.
So I got to do something. I don't know if I told you. I got to do something that I've never been able to do as a contractor before. I've never had customers that wanted this kind of job. But basically, it's a customer, it's a repeat customer, and she's seen like my creativity, and she basically said, "Yeah, you figure it out. We'll approve it, and you do it."
Awesome.
Dude, I did an 8-foot circle Shishugibon cedar deck with 3 pillars holding up a big sail, and then a little retaining wall and some other stonework with a little pathway and stuff. Dude, it turned out like you could see my heart and soul is in this fucking project.
Bye, guys.
It was the
Took out 7 out of 8.
Who has the other one?
Some guy I took out. He took somebody out, and then I took him out.
No, but man, I'm telling you, you could see my heart and soul in that fucking project. And basically, it was the easiest project I've ever done, despite the difficulty of what I was doing.
Yeah. Those are the things that we need to start doing, showing our talents and shit, so people can start getting compensated in the right capacity. We start shoving that shit up by going to work for some guy, some cabinet factory or something like that's our talent. No, you got something greater in as a talent for wood and stuff, then expand on it. Do it yourself.
That's kind of funny that you say that, because I just took down a fence, a cedar fence that had only been up for like maybe 5-6 years. So the cedar's in really, really good fucking shape. And I have a habit of collecting things that are in decent shape and then, letting them sit till I need them. And I've decided that I'm going to start needing them more often, because I'm going to start building things out of my own imagination and then putting a value on it. And basically using the things that everybody else would normally throw away, like their mistakes. Like I have 2 large pieces of concrete that I fucked up for a customer, and I'm using them to make a big ass fucking concrete bench. What's up, brother?
Greetings, Jeff. How you doing, brother?
Better every day.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
I don't trust my mama. I don't trust my father. fuck everybody.
Amen.
I love you.
You're gonna find that.
Love me.
You're gonna find that's gonna be extremely helpful in what you do there, brother. Learning how to perpetuate your own seed.
I'll buy some.
It's
if we can figure out the interstate commerce bit.
That's coming real soon.
Yeah.
Dispatch articles.
That's an idea to be able to move into the right direction, is facilitating commerce between like-minded people.
You have a diplomatic post, and you have an ability to dispatch your articles from post to post. Jeremiah 31:51. One post shall run to another post, messenger to messenger, shoe unto Babylon, shoe unto the king of Babylon, that the city has fallen at the other end. So the city has fallen. You have ascended.
Hey, the last time I saw Wizard, we were railing Cynthia.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good one.
You know, you two look like you could be like father and son at one point in time in life. You have a strange resemblance.
Yeah, and you, my
That
brother,
we do.
Dad.
Hey, I got you.
Maybe it's the spirit within us.
Quite possibly. The spirit of growth?
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
We're fixing some shit out here. I kind of tweaked my ankle on my birthday, going down to the river, and so the first time ever I let my workers go down and do my tarps in the morning, and they broke 3 of my golden arms in one swoop. So I'm like, how did this happen? Every time I delegate something when I'm not there, something shitty happens. And it just goes to show the life lessons of the universe is if you want something done right, do it yourself.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
It could be that you need to figure out how to delegate and it's interesting that you're talking about this because I'm finding the same things in my my work. I'm moving into a role of delegation as opposed to doing it, and I can always find a problem. And it's really difficult when I find 6 problems with something simple and basic. With something simple and basic.
Well, yeah, but I'm not trying to find a problem. Just this.
No, I'm saying it naturally comes to us because it's not the way it's supposed to be done. How did you fuck this up? Why is this is the simplest thing in the world? How the fuck did you even fuck this up?
Yeah, and that's why
you get where I'm coming from.
That's why I said I had to come to a point to realize what my fuck up was in it first, so I could fix my part to even see what their part in it was. Once you do that, that's your first step in honor is yourself, not pointing the finger at someone else.
Yeah, I'm a fucked up individual myself. So the first thing I thought was, okay, if you didn't delegate your obligations, because it was my birthday last week, and I was like, so I took a couple days, and I was like, hey, if you guys can cover for me for one day, that'd be fucking awesome. That would make it awesome for me. And then the one day that it happens, it's even more shit show for me. So I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that says.
It means it's exactly what you just said. You got to delegate yourself for yourself. When you delegate things to other people, you have to know that something's going to get fucked up. You have to take a lesser degree of quality and productivity.
I joke around and say, Daddy wasn't here for one day, and shit got fucked up. It happens.
You know
every
how
time.
one of the ways that I've streamlined that in my business, because the guy that I've got working for me could really fuck up a job site quickly, very quickly. What I started doing is basically if he fucks something up, he's got to fix it. So if he doesn't want to fix something, don't fuck it up. Or if he breaks something, or let's say he cuts something too deep and it's due to an issue on his lack of paying attention, then he pays for that piece of wood. And the wood that we use, that's like an $80 hit. He can have the whole piece that he fucked up, But if you're not paying attention and you fuck up a product, I'm not paying for it. And the reason or the way that I can do that is because I give him profit sharing.
Wow, runner 3-7. Dude didn't have a fucking horse in the race. That's
Yeah, I get you, Nubs, but at this point, I still don't have that authority. Like, I can't.
What's up, brother G Spot?
What's up, G?
Like,
What's up, guys?
Greetings,
oh,
Sam.
Tom G, my G spot.
Woo! What up, Jeff?
Ooh.
Come on up, Sam. Panel link's down there, brother.
You hiring
What
out
were you
there,
saying?
Jeff, or what?
What's up?
You hiring out there or what?
I'm always hiring.
For real? What state are you on?
I'm on California.
Oh,
It's the worst.
fuck. That's a long ways away.
It's the worst state. It's the worst state. But
Yeah. I'm on
Hey, Minnesota
Illinois.
just went legal. You can come
Hey,
out
Top
here and
G.
bring your plants.
Hey, Top G,
What's that?
mail yourself.
Yeah. What'd you say, noobs?
Minnesota just went legit, so you can come out here,
Come up there, you mean?
out here, over here. I don't know which way it is. They say it's up here.
Why don't you just use a simpler language? Come here.
Yeah, that works too.
I keep trying to impress that upon you folks.
What city are you close to?
The closest major metropolitan area would be Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, nice. I'm
It's
like
about-
southwest of Rockford, Illinois.
Okay, I was copulated in Elgin,
Nice. Chicago, pretty much.
pretty much. Riverboat town.
Nice. Yeah, I've kind of been looking for something to
Yeah,
do.
it was Dubuque, Iowa.
Need
Hey,
to get out of this
Wizard.
little town again, I think, but my dad's fucking terminally ill.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, he's got ALS, quote, but I don't think that's what he's got. I think he's got fucking Lyme's disease and a couple other blood infections or something, but he's been diagnosed for like 10 years and he's pretty much on his deathbed right now, barely breathing and barely moving, so.
Well,
Fucking-
I'm a smoker, so I really can't speak on health and wellness. I will say that there are definitely herbs out there that did
Yeah.
wonders for my mom, and they're simple garden herbs.
What'd she have?
She had stupidity and Diet Coke.
Diabetes?
Diet Coke.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, my dad's
That's one of
actually.
the best ones I've heard in a long time, Nubs.
I can't say it's anything else. If you're constantly sick and there's one common denominator, duh.
Oh, yeah. My family does the same thing, drinks Diet Pop and fucking all that trash.
I see everybody's illness as money.
That too, yeah. It's not
It's
my
money
favorite.
one way or another. It's either money to get you to be ill, or it's money to save you from being ill without saving you from being ill.
Well, it was a spell of
Right.
illness into the commercial system.
Yeah. Yep. Because if you grew stuff out of your backyard, a lot of those problems don't exist.
Right.
And, you know, much like many of us, I grew up in a world where mom forced us to eat things like fructose instead of sugar. I remember she got a 20-pound bag of it.
Oh, the fucking pears on the flop.
That's pretty much how it was. It's just a bullshit flop. No, but meanwhile, she's eating ho-hos in the back room. You know, so it was kind of counterproductive because I realized she was eating ho-hos and I said, fuck that sugar. I'm going to get the real shit. And then I got in trouble for stealing. Well, you weren't supposed to have them in the fucking first place. So what was I stealing but your sin? You were teaching me well. They didn't like it when I would give them their logic.
Yeah, my dad's always been super healthy, man. He was a railroader, an engineer, and drove semi his whole life. So he's pretty much sat on his ass his whole life.
That creosote gets into your fucking shit too. From the
Yeah.
rails, or from the wood underneath the rails.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to thinks he has Lyme's disease and probably some other blood infections, but I'm just now gonna try and get his blood sent out to California to an independent lab out there because the Mayo Clinic fucking lies to everybody apparently.
That I don't deny. If I were you, having been in your shoes or somewhere similar, I looked for anything, and like I said, simple garden herbs, things that you cook with on a normal basis. That's where I would start, like blood purification and common herbs. A YouTube search will find you
He's
all the
done that stuff,
information.
man. He's 10 years deep on ALS. I don't know if you know what Lou Gehrig's disease is, but
I'm familiar with Lou Gehrig's.
yeah, he's barely moving and barely breathing, so it's kind of late for that.
Don't get me wrong, like there's all sorts of different plays in the game, and if it's too late, the thing that I offered for my mom by doing the research that I did is when she died, she didn't die in pain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
No, he's not in
because
pain.
but you get what I'm saying, like clarity of mind and, willing to accept the inevitable was much easier when you're not scared of death, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
He's not scared of that, man. He's just, I don't know. He, doesn't know what
Right.
to do, confused and, had it for a long time and just really stubborn, hasn't really tried a whole lot. So
Right.
I'm not giving up.
Yeah. And that's part of it though, because I'm telling you, if you start this, and this is what I explained to the doctors here, because they were trying to convince me of surgery at a certain point. I said, listen, if you've got a cancer that's growing, and you catch it, and you start doing something, and it starts decreasing in size, you don't just wait till it decreases in size so you can do surgery. You find out if that decreasing in size is effective, that it will continue until it's completely gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
interrupt.
what I did.
You don't interrupt a process to completion by interrupting it for a different kind of completion for monetary and experimental gain.
Yeah, they almost killed him in the fucking ICU, man, with fucking fentanyl. They pumped him full of drugs, man, and they told him he wasn't going to make it through the night twice, and that was like 3 months ago. So
Every time they would pump my mom full of narcotics, they were using what were they? They wasn't fentanyl, it's the other one, Oxycontin. They were using Oxycontin, and every time they would hit her with that Oxy, I would hit her with a juice, and basically, because of my research, I knew what I was going up against, so I was looking up every herb that would, help with that scenario. And basically it was a chance to make sure that my mom was, sane and in her right mind, because my mom was an avid anti-drug person, and she always said, I don't want to be all doped out.
yeah,
So I
same
gave
with
her
my dad.
I gave her every option to not be doped out, including filtering out and cleaning her blood. And it would be funny because we would give her like 4 or 6 ounces worth of fluid, and she would her bag would fill up with like 8 to 10 ounces.
Well,
Yeah, and like you could physically watch, because they kept on coming in to check her legs because they would bloat, and they would get like excited when they would get bigger because that's the body slowing down. But I kept on pumping her full of nutrients. She loves pineapple, and I kept on hitting her with pineapple left and right, and pineapple's filled with some nutrients, and I kept the peels on, so because I was juicing it all.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's always ate healthy, man. He's always been about fruits and all that stuff. Like, never done drugs, really. I mean, he tried them, but he was just kind of a drinker, like a social
Right.
drinker, and that was pretty much it. He just liked his beer.
There's a lot of, like I said, I'm not looking to force my beliefs or force my understanding. Honestly, I'm not even on, after having a conversation where I kind of put my foot in my mouth. I'm kind of reluctant to even say anything because of the guy was right type deal. But honestly, there is some serious hope, and if you'd ever want, I'm not in a place that I should give any medical advice, but I can tell you what worked for me.
Yeah. He's super stubborn, man. I'm surprised I got him to agree to send his blood out again, but I don't know. It's a tough situation, man.
Well, much like Wizard was saying, we complicate things a lot, and if we would speak simpler, it would probably work a lot better. Same thing with herbs. Most likely, it's something that is literally growing in your back fucking yard that could probably not necessarily save him, but help him along at least, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you. I've been in your shoes or something similar, so I guess that's where I'm coming from.
When you
Yeah, I appreciate
simplify
it.
the things in your life, then your life becomes more simple. And the simpler it gets, the easier it becomes to manage, and the better you're able to manage it because you're learning more about that specific management by learning how to take on delegations yourself. And if you can't, then you don't need them. Whatever service that you can't do yourself, you shouldn't need. If you can't do the banking yourself, you shouldn't be passing it on to somebody else. You should be waiting until you can bank.
Yeah, my dad can't do fuck all for himself, man. He can't move an inch. He sits in a chair all day, all night, 24/7.
Hey,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
Top.
pretty much how my mom was.
Hey, Top G, dude, my dad's doing the same thing. He lived in the slave world like his whole life, and they cut him short before he was ready, like, to retire. They were
Yeah.
trying to set him on like these routes that
Who's
he was
your
on,
daddy?
and I think my dad's just been he's just been sad and sitting at home ever since. He just sits on the couch, watches TV.
Yep. Same with my
He,
dad, man. He
dude,
just worked and sat at home and watched TV.
he's depressed. But my dad was a hard worker his whole life, and now he doesn't have any purpose, dude. Like, he just sits there, and I don't know what to say to him.
Yeah, my dad really never had any hobbies either, man. He worked his ass off for me and my brother to have a good life, and he was always gone for the railroad. And when he got home, he fucking, he worked on his garden and stuff for a while. He loved that type of shit, but he was always kind of sedentary, sat and watched TV. And
Well, I mean, my dad didn't do that until he got railroaded on his job. Like, before that, like, my dad was like my baseball coach, my basketball coach. He worked his ass off his whole life. I mean, he was very involved in my life till till he, he's like, yeah, get your own shit, son. Be a man.
yeah,
Go create. Go do some shit. So my dad pushed me, but I went and got a job at 15 years old. My dad's like, hey man, go work hard. I've always worked hard. So I got it from my dad. My dad's worked hard his whole life, but to what end? I see him now depressed
yeah,
with no meaning and no purpose, and he's depressed and he's just sitting around waiting to die. It's like,
yeah.
It's pretty fucking
Motherfucker.
Yeah, my dad didn't even get to enjoy his retirement, man. He had to quit before he got to retire because he couldn't get up in the engine anymore.
Yep.
Couldn't get up in the fucking engine.
They made him quit before he was ready to retire.
Same.
And so now he's penny pinching. He felt like he got fucked over from his entire company that he worked from 18 years old till he was 59 years old, right before retirement. So,
yep. Dude, we have a lot in common, bro.
Yeah, they just fucked him. And now he's looking around for purpose.
Tell him to go fishing or something, fucking golfing, something.
I know, I told him, dude, but
I wish my dad would have had hobbies besides riding a Harley, which I love that too.
But, I mean, my dad likes to go fishing and hunting, but now he doesn't because he just, dude, I think he's been taking too many prescription drugs, dude. So now he just doesn't feel good all the time. It's like he's always feeling like shit.
He didn't take the jab, did he?
Dude, no, he didn't. That was my mom's side did. My dad's side didn't.
Same, man. Except for my grandpa, he pretty much died from that. My dad's dad fucking took it, and I think he only took it because he was a Vietnam vet, so used to getting them jabs for war. But
you wonder how we all kind of come together. Like, there is a reason that we all came together.
Yep, I agree.
And so, whether it's a circus or not, sometimes like these people, the last year and a half or year for me, the insanity has been kind of some kind of sanity. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all have something in common, whether it's little, big. We all have the same fucking interests, the same kind of thing going on with our, everything, life.
I think so. I think we all feel like there's something different going on. Something's gravitated toward us to this moment, and then we'll see where it goes from here, man.
Right.
I think what Wizard was saying really would definitely come into play in a scenario like what everybody talks about on these panels is expressing your talents. Obviously you have talents. I have building talents. You put your talents and my talents together. I come out and I say, hey, I want 10% from this point on the improvements that I make for your shop. Just 10% off the top for a specific amount of time. So for the next year and a half, I come in with my shit. I improve your shit. You make more money. I make money off the top. And we all make money. We all make fiat because we're working together. I'm not charging you anything except for what I'm willing to put into my own investment, because that's me investing into myself, because it's my materials coming into your shop and becoming yours.
I agree
I'm
with
good
that.
at running equipment. That's one thing I'm good at. I can run any kind of equipment, whether, it's got wheels, a track. I've run everything.
Right. So now you come in and you bulldoze out for a new 17 beds, and you take 3% off the top because you drove down and you get your gas out of it, and you make 3% off the top. Everybody gets a cut that puts in. You end up with 35 on the top, so you're always in the primary position because it's your fucking shop. But you also have interests in my company where you're making money off of all my equity from the point where you put in. And if you put it all into a company and you paid it in dividend as opposed to a paycheck, you're all investing into yourselves in a different place, in a different avenue.
Yep.
What are your thoughts, Wizard?
Well, that's the parable of the talents in the scripture. You go forth with 5, you come back with 10. How does that work?
You invest into others.
And they invest into you. It's an equal exchange. You see why I raised flop now? Watching the board, no threes have come up in the last 4 hands. They gave me pocket 3, so I raised 3 flop.
Yep.
Seeing
Not
patterns.
about, it's not about poker or bingo. It's about the numbers. Again, just like the legal system, it's not about the name or the style. It's about the number.
Yep.
So
Patterns
fuck
and
Smith and
numbers.
his numbers. He doesn't know how to relate the numbers to the reality. Dumbass. Excuse my language, folks.
We're talking about Agent Smith here.
Yes.
Just kidding.
I got him blocked. I was wondering who you're talking about.
Is he up to his old shenanigans again?
Oh, he doesn't
Probably.
like me at all. He
I
says
thought
he
he
loves
was
everybody.
behaving.
Say what?
I thought he was behaving.
Oh no, he doesn't behave with me.
Oh, okay. Am I being loud?
We good, Jesse? That one?
So, noobs, you own your own business up there in Minnesota, huh?
Well,
up?
apparently the business owns me is the word on the street, but that's what the skinny is on my end.
Nice. Just construction or what?
Construction and landscaping, more landscaping than anything.
Nice.
We
I
have
used to do irrigation.
that's a handy skill. I hit those lines all the time. I had to learn how to fix them.
Yeah. I can do an entire system. I don't care what kind of system you got. I can do the entire system from backflow on out. The entire system up and down. I can come diagnose your system, and I don't even have to know what kind of system it is. I'll get into that clock and find it.
Right.
It's all about the electronic in the circuit.
So wait a second. So you're telling me Paulie does fucking solar, you do water aspects, I do landscaping. Why the fuck aren't we making some money on this?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I can run equipment. We got a fucking whole team, bro.
Hey guys,
That's exactly.
hold on, guys. Hey, guys, the StreamYard link is pinned, so come on up.
And
Yeah.
that's really what it boils down to. You get a couple of major people that know what the fuck they're doing. Like, I can build a house. I can start from the foundation and I can build it all the way to the roof. I'm not
Dude,
fast.
I'm 6'4" and strong, man. So
Right. No,
Watch
I'm
this,
not
I can
quite
do all that
6'4" and
shit.
strong, but if you got a group of people to invest in themselves, that means the only thing that you can lose is on yourself. And you drag everybody else down with you. As you fail, we all fail. So we're obviously going to keep each other accountable, because you're 10% of the company that I own in your company. Yeah, I want that shit to grow to 100. Absolutely. That means I'm going to make sure that, there's a weekly business meeting saying,
Yo,
hey, did you
Daddy.
get all your fucking product? Yeah. That's how it's going to be right there. Just a knockout for everybody, but we all knock each other out equally. Like, it's an accountability. I mean, that's how this fucking world was started. It's just we have good things to bring to the table instead of good intentions.
Absolutely. And there's so many things I've done in life that's pathetic. I'm a cook. I've done roofing, siding, plumbing, irrigation. I've been a baker. I've been a night cook. I've been a pit cook, side cook, waiter, all kinds of shit. There's nothing I can't do. If it's something I haven't done, all I got to do is just start at the bottom.
What do you do now, Wizard, for main income?
I don't have an income.
Oh, okay.
Just to coming in?
All I get is donations.
Nice. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Value for value.
Yep.
More people should be donating. I wish I could donate a little bit more.
Well, and I get to write off except for value stupid shit that they send me to envelopes. I send them back writing right on them, and you have to worry about hearing from them again. You know, it's a matter of putting your negotiations on the instruments, and when they give you stupid instruments, you help put some intellectuality in there, and that's your intellectual property. And if that intellectual property has more value than theirs, it'll go out and it'll come back to you. That means theirs will come back to them as zero. So that's what you accept their value for, zero.
And see, right there, I think that's the, like, above anything that I've heard you list off of things that you're able to do. I think, to me, that is the most valuable thing, because
Well,
if
yeah,
I
people
can
think they
sit
got to
down,
write. People think they got to write instruments to make money. All you got to do is rebut the money that they're putting out. Money is the fiat paper. It's the paperwork, which is United States. Quit playing with United States.
that makes sense. Just accept donations. Yeah, a business that was ran under that, or not even a business, but a group of like-minded individuals that's ran in that principle, I don't see how it could not succeed with the right people. I mean, and I'm not even talking about taking over the fucking world. Not at all. I don't want to go talk to the UN by any means. I would like to live a little bit more comfortably. And if I can take 10% of your income and your income and your income, that's 30% of income that I don't have to work for, and I have to give 10%. I don't know. I've been looking into this business model quite a bit, because it makes sense to me. And that way you can actually rely on the people. You know, we were talking about employees that aren't able to really hack the job. Well, if
Because
it's
they're
not an
invested, you're
employee,
saying?
right, because everybody's invested at that point.
Yeah, that's the way
Because
it
then
probably
it's
should be, man.
right.
Everybody has a little stake in the company. I mean, that only makes sense. It's just like some of these companies that do that. You know, they give you a portion of their stake or stock or whatever.
Yeah, that's why you got it. That's why I say you got to be sure what the hell happened.
We do a 10% profit sharing with our workers. And so, like I was saying, when he fucks up a board, that comes directly out of his profit sharing.
I might have to shut down and come back, guys.
What's up?
I might have to shut down and come back. My screen just went white, and I get this circle thing. I know everything's going on in the background, but I can't see. There's my poker game and everything.
All right, I'll come back up. Do we need to leave?
Nope.
Refresh your. Yeah, I was gonna say refresh your screen or something.
Well, I had to do a Alt Shift Delete. Fuck you driving, Jeff? An old beat up tractor?
He's not driving, Wiz.
No, I was driving.
He's traveling.
He's right.
He's moving property.
Yeah, I was moving property from my garden up to my house.
That sounded like one hell of a dirt road.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You got more ribs in that road than there is at a barbecue.
Yep. I live on a dirt road, my friends. Yep.
Hey, you know, there's an easy solution for that. Like
Pave it
I'm
all?
talking a long-term, simple solution. You got a tire company around you?
Yeah, I do.
Go get their scrap tires and cut off the tops and the bottoms, so you just have the belt. Attach all the belts together as long as your driveway is with some bolts, and then take and dig up all that class 5, move it off the site, put that rubber down in, and then backfill it into your class 5. Then get some Geotex and do a final layer with Geotex. You'll never have to resurface that road, and it'll never rib on you again.
I get a long road before that. I've got like a half a mile of gravel that's not county maintained. So
Well,
I've got enough.
that's a lot of tires to store up. I mean, this will probably take you a couple years to do. I mean, that's a lot of work, but it's a simple solution.
Probably really cheap too. For
Yeah,
tires,
especially
at
if you're
least.
getting the free tires.
Yeah, who's getting free tires? You know someone that's getting free tires?
If you take their recycled, their no good tires, you just need that belt. That's all you need. And you can actually sell the tops and the bottoms to local farmers for their tarp holders. You can get $1 a piece for them.
Oh. I would entertain that if I didn't have like a million things to do. So I've been.
Well, you got employees. I'm just saying, like, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, we just got a propane auto start generator here finally. So I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. to hand pull a generator so I can have fans. So I'm moving up. It's been taking like 3 years. So, but that's cool. I'm still off grid. It's all good. It's
Yeah, like
taking
I'm not looking to be overbearing or anything. I mean, you've got your own fucking plans and everything like that. Just offering ideas.
No, I agree. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And that's the best way to be, is off grid.
Yeah.
I
don't want to be fucking on grid. Because Gavin Newsom in California could do rolling blackouts and just cut out power just because he feels like it, because of climate change. Because that's cool.
If you attach to the grid, they can take you down from the grid because you're tethered to the grid.
Yeah, that's why I'm not on the grid. I decided not to on the grid.
Well, we're working on that too, because that's as it relates to cybersecurity and the general welfare and domestic tranquility and national defense. We are required to have those things as a matter of life.
That's true.
We are even supposed to have our own broadcasting abilities. This is why I'm working on my own internet site with the capability of streaming directly from it.
Nice.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes, like, are we not all capable of doing our own shit? And most people just rely on everything else but themselves to be on the grid or be part of society. So kind of sad, but that's the reality.
Well, that's part of the popularity contest. That's what I was talking about with the drama and everything on these panels. That's what people are driven to, is they like the drama. And there I went through away a 4.7. But they like the drama, and that's because their own life is pretty much a soap opera, and they're trying to figure it out. So they got to sit there and watch somebody else's dramatic life in order to make sense of their own. They have no capability of self-discernment. It's pathetic.
So I have a question.
Dude, I'm watching this drama unfold it would have been 3 pairs that you would have had.
Well, he would have had 2 pair. It would have been 2 pair versus 2 pair. His 2 pair was kings and 3s. Mine with 4s and 3s.
Oh, I didn't see his.
Kings and threes, and mine was sevens and fours.
Right.
So what I see though, instead of being like enthralled in Friends or some Netflix drama, where YouTube is the real thing. So the live panels is like the most real you can get. And so people watched all these shows in the past because they would relate to the characters and identify with this and fall in love with the characters. But this stuff that we're doing is real life. And real life is stranger than fiction. And more people are fucked up than we ever imagined. So we kind of all realize that now.
Absolutely, and like you said earlier, we knock each other out. There are gonna be people that get knocked out, and there are gonna be people that are gonna walk away the winner. And that's just the reality of that popularity contest again. If you want to get in that drama and use that ego, that's what it's all about: is walking away a winner or getting beat. I don't get beat anywhere. I'm not a winner. I'm a doer.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's about that. I don't even know if it's
winning
about
and losing doesn't come into it.
Yeah, with me in this community, it's not even about being a winner or a loser. I'm observing, and you kind of see these cast of characters and stuff, and like everyone needs some kind of remedy or some kind of help, and so you fall in love with one character, then you're mad at one character. It's just like TV.
I see what you're saying.
Well, it's like me and Talcott. There are people on Paul's channel that like me and don't like Talcott, but there are people that like Talcott and don't like me. Same with Jack's channel. There's a lot of people on Jack's channel that don't like me, but there's a lot of people, period, that don't like me. And I'm going to tell you once again that people that like me because I tell them the truth. The people that don't like me because I tell them the truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change that.
And you also live the truth, so you can tell them the truth.
As close as possible.
Yeah, Wizard, you're something else. You're mine.
All glory goes to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you all the way, Wizard. I mean, you're very much more educated. You've done a lot more research. So when you start ripping shit, it's hard to keep up because you just know it, and it's like bam, 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 bam. And like when you say it, it makes so much sense. But like a regular person could not rip it the way you did, like through letter or through court. Like it's intimidating.
Yeah, he talks really fast sometimes too.
But yeah, I mean,
but hold up.
But it's inspiring. It's not that I can't do it, but it's just like, how much research do you do? I think Wizard just does research all day, every day. That motherfucker's on point.
That's all I do. You see me taking a break here.
Yeah.
So anyways, check this out. What it is he is just such a master at his craft that it's much like a female compared to a male in athletic competition. High schoolers can go and beat the world record of professional athletes. Like that's just the numbers. And I don't know. I'm not looking to kiss his ass or anything like that, but damn, the man is smart. Man has intelligence.
It's not a matter of the intelligence. It's a matter again of the doing. The more you do something, the better you get at it. So that's all I do. Is everything I get involved in, I want to be doing it as well. I don't want somebody standing there talking about it, trying to tell me how to do it. I want to be involved.
I guess my definition of intelligence and your definition may be different. Mine is that, you know, if you're intelligent and you have good wisdom, you must apply it for it to be yours. I
So,
look at
yeah.
that as the intelligence
You
of
only
man.
get that through,
yeah,
and you only
yeah,
get that through experience.
Right.
I would say what Nubs is saying, probably just like you do with your field. You can espouse the knowledge and say it out loud, but the reason you know so much about what you're doing is because you spend hours and hours doing it. So
Right.
you can
Right.
you can speak on it because that's what you do. Wizard does
Right.
that. It's like second knowledge to him from everyone else hearing it. It's like, wait, hold on, slow down. Wait, how'd you know
Yeah.
that? It's
Well-
so far advanced that a lot of people are intimidated by it. They want to learn, but I think most people are just lazy, and also they're just intimidated. They just, I mean, me included. Like, I mean,
Well,
there's
it's
a
like
lot
the
of shit there.
It's like the term coastal. Okay, it's a lot like the term behave and knowledge and all those that I keep talking about. If you look at the term and you see the words in it, separate the words and then pronounce them as they are separately. So it's not knowledge, it's knowledge. It's not behave, it's behave. So when we
Right.
take a look at a term like coastal, again, use your imagination and you see the coast, and that's automatic. Everybody sees coast. Okay, yeah, great, coast. And then you look up the suffix, which is AL. What if you looked at it from the prefix term and the CO and then looked up pastel? Did you ever do that? Most people don't. They don't think of that. That's ordinary and common. But if you go outside of that perspective and start using your imagination and start using the English language as it's meant to be, as a twisted, curved, colorful language, and color it yourself, you might expose some things that you didn't realize before. So when you see the term co, as in commission, cooperative, things like that, and then you see coastal, take the prefix off and look up the other part. See if it means anything. You'll be surprised, folks. ASTAL means dominance, command, rule, control, seize. So when you take the term coastal as in the adjacent coastal waters for United States citizenship and shit, and you relate it to the 18 U.S.C. 7 special maritime territorial jurisdiction, and the fact that all post offices are inland marine installations, you have a military branch that has extended its post, a military post, inland through an Admiralty maritime conversion through the post office.
Hey, Wizard, have you heard that in 2018, Trump did an executive order that bankrupted the United States corporation? So he put in a law to bankrupt what was from the UK, the Vatican, from the 1871 thing, to basically put into place that what the United States was a fiction, and that he did that on purpose. Have you heard about
Absolutely.
that?
This was the thing where he was butting heads against the UPU, the Universal Postal Union, saying they were going to withdraw the United States from the Universal Postal Union because it's the United States that's paying for all the debts of many other countries. And he was putting a stop to it. Say, hey, listen, This is a corporate fiction, and the money's supposed to be going back to the people.
Yep.
See, he knew the system is rigged because he uses it. He's been bankrupt 7 times. What's the scripture say about somebody that must fall 7 times first?
Yep. There's a prophecy about all this stuff, and I know people don't want to hear about it, but
No. No.
I mean, but I think there's something way bigger going on. We're about to find out a bunch of bigger stuff. I have faith in it. So,
well, it's going to be through the paperwork, like I said.
Hey, there's something bigger. The good guys, God wins in the end.
Well, and that's why I say, when people learn to quit putting those data elements into their system, which is known as a battle of the forms, known as the United States, literally.
Yeah.
And when they realize that that's all it is, the United States is nothing more than the paperwork being kept, which is the Library of Congress. At some point in time, paperwork from the United States and its sovereign states that ceded their jurisdiction to the corporate entity. There's a statute of limitations on the record keeping where it's going to enter into the National Archives. It's got to be valid at that time. If it's not valid, it gets dismissed. Are you going to miss it? No. Then why are you putting it in there? Shouldn't you dismiss it before you put it in there? But instead, you're putting value to it and you're entering it into the record yourself. Quit it.
Yeah.
There ain't no one in this world that can make you enter anything into that record, particularly if you know what that record is. 20 CFR 422.103.
Well, this is what pisses me off, Wizard.
Go ahead.
Is that we have to do, one of these codes to explain what we are as humanity. It's like
right.
It's upsetting to me.
Because there's one that
you can do it as codes, but it's like it's God's law, right? But I guess it's in the Constitution, which man wrote. Like where does it end and begin? Like where
your discernment. And again, the only way you can discern this stuff is by knowing it. So the only way you can know it is by seeing it. So when I see it, I've got to put it out there. So I'm giving a source for other people to come to know what's being done. And I'm going through it, like I said, so that when people come to me and ask for help, when I get done with my situation, it is firm and proven. And I'm telling you, people, I'm not the idiot. You already know that, Jeff. You just said that, and I'm speaking about the Office of Naval Intelligence. That's who runs all of this. So that's who I'm going to end up being communicating with in regards to the nationality, the national defense, general welfare, and all of that. They're the ones that are supposed to be intelligent. They run the CIA.
So what I'm wondering is most of the people in the world are NPCs. People like you and I and Nubs and the people that are around our networks see kind of beyond what's going on. And then we feel, like me, the last few years, helpless, doing what they can to spread truth without sounding crazy, but doing what's true and what's right, fighting against the system. And then, there's different stages of it. Like, there was a stage where I was like, when I found out shit, I was like super scared. And then I was very confused and was like, wait, was my whole life a lie? And then very mad, and then very angry, and then very I want to tell the world. And then that didn't really work because they think you're crazy.
Yeah.
And so then you get to a stage.
And you get to a stage of pointed out to them. See, and that's why I said, even the Postal Service guys, I've had to point out their codes to them to try to get them to understand what I'm doing. And I have to go forth and let them know, hey, listen, I've been getting people turning me back left and right because they don't understand what's going on, as if though they think I'm trying to commit some kind of fraud because I'm trying to use a form they don't know about. It's your own postal form. Just because you don't know about it doesn't mean you can dismiss it. You made a public offering, and I'm using it. and I need accord and satisfaction by use of instrument. And I'm using it as a third party for accommodation of the interested parties in the instrument, which happens to be the United States Postal Service, the Post Office, and Joyce Schmidt, the benefactor to all of it. You guys are fucking up a serious international trust.
Yeah. Did you think I was?
Tom Sawyer, mud squishing between my toes, backcountry hick is going to expose it all. And you're the intelligent one?
Yeah. Did you? I'm glad Hardhead brought it up, but like that night, we went hard on Cynthia, and
oh yeah,
I thought it was a decent broadcast. I mean, granted, I could be a little.
And that's why I left it up. Normally, I delete these poker shenanigans because they're just for little simple conversations like this. But I agreed that was a great one, so I left it up.
Yeah, like I mean, I wasn't the most on point, but I was very passionate about what I believe. So,
well, yeah, that's the indoctrination of our children and getting them to vaccinate. You know, there are children in foster homes that don't have a choice, and their foster parents are forcing it upon them.
Well, my mom's flipped the script. She was a nurse. My niece was going through it, and she's having to wear a mask. And I'm very close with my sister, and it took every bone in my body to be like, hey, you can't be putting a mask on your daughter. That's fucking child abuse, like, period. Yep. And
I printed up a notice. I printed up a notice.
Like I had to speak out. I have from the beginning, but I'm not gonna not stay vocal on the tyranny and the bullshit that I saw from day one.
Absolutely. Sorry. I wrote up a notice to all public officials around the world, not just here in America, but all public officials, because this is pertaining to martial law and the Nuremberg Code. And the first point of the 10 points of the Nuremberg Code is the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. You do not have my consent to violate the scriptures that I deem to be the law of the land.
Yeah, there was also there was also something today or yesterday through the Australian courts where the Pfizer official admitted that it was never tested for that it wasn't that you couldn't contract it, which we knew all along. So
it's a spike protein that the only way you can contract it is by ingestion of some sort. So
and
when
also
you stick the swabs up in your nose, you're ingesting it through your nasal cavity. That test
also the Pfizer official admitted that they got a different dose. All of their employees, I just saw this today, that they took a different form of the jab that no one else got. So,
100%.
So their employees got a different jab than the public got, and they just admitted that in court in Australia through Pfizer today or yesterday. I just saw it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure
But I mean, we all knew that.
Yeah. See, that's one of the things why I say don't trust your neighbor, don't trust the government, don't trust your mother, don't trust me. Do your research. And these people didn't have time to do research, and that's the biggest thing about science.
They were scared. They were scared.
You have to have research first. And in no society ever have they used biological warfare as a vaccine.
Yeah, it's probably gonna hit over.
And that's exactly what they're doing today. They're using biological warfare. Again, all of the forms that they use are known as battles of the form. So I don't care what kind of fucking patent, license, copyright, trademark, whatever the fuck you got it through a battle, and that's warfare. It's biological, and that means it's biological warfare. You scientific, crazy fucks.
Yeah, they've been They've been doing this shit forever, man. Jabbing our kids before they even get an immune system built up. They don't test any of them jabs that they give our little kids for toxicity or carcinogens or anything. It's total fucking poison, and we let people jab our fucking kids, man. We're supposed to defend our children with our life, and none of these motherfuckers out here want to defend children. I fucking raised hell, brothers. I fucking went into buildings. I got kicked out. I got the police called on me. All that shit. You know what I mean? Fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, good for you. Good for you, brother. I mean, this is why we're collected in this. This is why we're all here. It's because we all kind of believe the same shit, and we resonate with each other. There's a frequency. There's a vibration.
Dude, the true cult is that.
Let me put a spell on you. Let me put a spell on you real quick. Yep. We all believe ourselves to be chemical factories, right? We can all agree on that.
Factory.
A chemical factory. Simple term.
I'd say vibrational, but not chemical. Or both.
Well, we are chemical bodies.
Both.
We are chemical bodies. And it's the chemicals in our bodies that are factors in our life, right? So we are chemical factories. What's an ori? It's just like corporation. We're supposed to orate the facts, but we have a problem. It's known as Michael. CHE means unclear. MICAL is just a version of Michael. What's Michael? The sword of the right hand of God, professing the truth of righteousness. Our chemical bodies are that very war. We have to have a right chemical balance. If we don't have a proper chemical oration of facts. We go to a doctor and we complain, say we got something wrong with us. We don't know the facts.
Yeah. The medical system is such a fucking scam, bro. It's insane.
The medical system is dependent upon your emotions. That is your 12 cycles. Okay? That is the Greek gods. That is one side of your brain. The God is the other side of your brain. It is the thought process. So you have emotional input and a thought process to conceive it and put it in order. Then it's supposed to go back.
Yep. Look at the symbols of the medical industry. You got the snake wrapping around a fucking needle. All this other shit they show you. It's, you know what I mean? They're right in front of your face telling you they don't give a fuck about you.
But that symbol, if you look at the actual symbol that symbol comes from, it's missing half of it. So they're taking away the organic and putting in the synthetic.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
And if you look at where Western medicine really got its boom was when Carnegie needed a place to put his waste products. And he found out that they could be used as vaccines. And then all of a sudden, all these schools got these grants, but the grants had a clause in most of them, to my understanding, that said something along the lines of you cannot teach holistic medicine. You have to teach this pill medicine, this wizardry. Not speaking of wizard, obviously, but this sorcery, this apothecary. And that's why they practice in it, because there's no real evidence. It's all practice. There's no game. There's no end result. If you have cancer, you have cancer until they're done treating you.
Well, the practice in the old world with the shamans and the witch doctors and the elders, that they knew everything in nature. If there's something that poisons you, something that's a cure right next to it.
Normally.
Say that again?
It happens. If there's something that gives you poison, like if you were to get pricked by or eat a poison mushroom, the antidote is right down.
Oh yeah, yep.
It's right in the same area. So
yeah, God gives us everything we need. It's all free.
Nature does this, but we don't even realize that. So out here, I've gotten poison oak, right? And most people will go buy some shit from the store or whatever. This red clay dirt that's right next to the poison oak. As soon as I've gotten poison oak, I rub this clay dirt on my arm.
Yep, rub some dirt on it, man. That's what my grandpa used to say.
No, it dries it out immediately. I don't need anything.
Yeah, we used to use red clay.
The clay sucks up the oils immediately. Yep. So if you got poison oak on you and you just rub mud on from the same dirt that gave you the poison oak, and it happens over and over again. It happens in all the stories where someone got poisoned by a certain vine, and then the antidote is like right down the way in the jungle. That's just the way it works.
When I clipped off my fingertip, I grabbed 3 different herbs, and one was a painkiller, one was a cleaner, and one was an antiseptic.
Was it honey?
No, I did not use honey. The guy did not have any raw honey, so I refused his Walmart brand honey.
Yeah,
you didn't want to put sugar in it, huh?
Right.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how words and terms are like used against us? They like hypnotize us into a different state of mind. Fucking crazy how this realm is so insane.
Words are swords.
Dude, it's like we were not meant to speak English. This language was like meant to destroy us.
Have you ever had an experience with somebody where you just knew what each other were speaking of and nobody was saying a word? Think about your words and then think about that experience. Of course that was meant to. You knew exactly what they were saying. You didn't have to communicate a single thing. It was already done.
Yep.
Murphy first.
All I'm gonna say is I'm glad I met you guys, man. I love my cult, every one of you. And like Wizard says, I don't give a fuck. You like me back, love me back. God first.
Yeah, there comes a point in time where you got to put a line and say, "Listen, I love you, but I know enough about life that there's certain things people got to prove to me now. I ain't gonna believe you no more. No one. You ain't any better than anybody else, so prove up."
Yep.
I tell my dog that every night before she goes to bed. Prove up. Shit it or get it.
No soldiers left behind.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Fire Drake, greetings. Brielle still down there, unindoctrinated. Thanks for joining. And correct, cure, to preserve. So when people say they want to cure cancer, they're really saying they want to preserve it. That's why I say I'm just beating the shit out of it.
Yep. Ain't nobody gonna convince me of no fucking terminal illness.
I always just called it working on the spots in my mouth. Because I never got a diagnosis. So I didn't know what it was. But I knew what I was doing and how I felt was similar in nature, so I ran with it. You know, what are they going to do? Put me on some fucking chemo that I don't want to be on anyways? Hell no. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die at my own hand on my own terms.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like I say with this lung cancer stuff I'm going through. You know, as long as it's still getting smaller and smaller, which will be shown by the MRIs, which is just a test. I'm glad to have that test, and that's payment for use of services and equipment, and that's in that contract. I agree to make third-party payments so long as the credit's given to the customer's account. I'm the customer. So yeah, it's all free anyway. It doesn't matter whether you're using a social security number or not. The term in the contract itself is very explicit.
Wizard, where do you get all your terms, the definition for your terms and stuff at?
Everywhere I can find them. Generally, I try to use concise English first to break it down in that concept, and then I use the Latin language for suffixes and prefixes, so I can break them down in that manner. And then, of course, I use Hebrew as an origin.
So, like, what search engine? You just kind of do it.
I use Google Chrome.
All right.
You can use what is it? Bravecast or something like that, BraveNet or something.
Yeah, I use Brave, but
just Brave, yeah. Brave's a good one. I got my site is through BraveNet, which is kind of like a sister company. They use same kind of software.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a little more private and encrypted, and they're supposed to give you crypto, but I didn't sign up for it this time. I had to re-fucking set my computer pretty much. It was having problems.
Yes, Fire Drake. Wobbly Boo says the spirit self talks and thinks in images. Words can only confound the mind if you're not reflecting all input through the transcendental self. Also, good day, Wiz. Yes, good day, Wobbly. Greetings. And JK is here. No Despair Bear. Greetings. And Fire Drake says, disease has many messages. True healing happens when one can understand the message clearly between the individual and the God. So let me explain El Hotep Second Pero. You guys aren't quite familiar with that one. That's my original pen name is El Hotep Second Pero. And that's the original, you see El Pero with the sigil. El, of course, is the God. Now, the God in the sense of the man is the inner processing through the heart and the mind. Okay. Pero is the temple, which is the body itself. Hotep Secondly means, Hotep is peace, and Secondly means between the two. So the pen name El Hotep Secondly Pero literally means peace between the two, the temple and the God. So it's pretty much the same thing, a message clearly between the individual and the God. Nothing else. I have to literally explain it to people in order for it to be anything to anybody else. Otherwise, it's a message to me between my individual and my God. That's it. It means nothing to anybody else but me. The same thing.
Doesn't that in turn make you the star of your own show, though?
Absolutely. Why
That's
is everybody letting everybody write their show? That's that. Multiple personalities, and they're in disorder because you're allowing everybody else to shove their hand up your ass and use you as the puppet. Put your personalities in order. Know all 12 of them. Keep them in order. Let them out to play when it's their turn. Very simple. Like I said, people want to call me an asshole. I got to look them in the face and say, let's get this straight. I'm not an asshole. I am the whole ass. See, the master has failed more than the student has even tried. So you keep trying to be an asshole. One day you'll figure out how to be the whole ass like me. And there's only one way you can do that. And that's the truth. So until you can do that, shut the fuck up. I'm tired of people lying to me. That's all it is.
Right. I think we all are, man. Been lied to since we were little fucking kids.
Yep. And that's because our parents were lied to too. So there has to be room for forgiveness, because forgive them, for they know not what they did. And repentance, because now you do know, and now you do have an obligation. You do have a duty. And again, not to everybody else, but to yourself first. Because like I said, once I get all this shit figured out on getting that estate matter all sorted out and all them personalities dispersed appropriately, I'll be able to show everybody else. But again, it's not something simple like I profess it to be. It is simple for me to understand. It's to me, it's common sense, because the language is simple once you learn how to tear it apart. When you learn how colorful it is, you realize how much like Play-Doh it is. You can make it any way you want. Start having fun with it. Play with it like a kid. So anyway, we've been going an hour and a half now, and I don't want to make it too long on these, because like I said, I normally delete them, but this one might keep again as well. We'll see. I want to thank you. Bye. I want to thank everybody for joining me. What's going on, Top G? You got anything to say on the way out?
Oh, shoot. I was just going to ask if you're signing off. I appreciate you having me up, man. And keep doing what you're doing. Thanks a lot, man.
Yep, you too.
Jeff.
Good to see you got that tile in the ceiling fixed.
What's that?
I said, good to see you got that tile in the ceiling fixed.
It's
right
better
on, guys.
than an alarm.
Hey.
Better than a fire alarm any day.
No shit.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. God bless. Rest well.
See you guys.
Hey, I appreciate what you do, Wizard. Keep on keeping people accountable, much like myself. Mainly myself. If you see me stepping out of line, please do. Please do. Please feel free. Because we can't be equally yoked unless we're all equally yoked, right?
Absolutely. And like I told Moose, I want to repeat it here for you guys, because I love you both. You guys are awesome guys. I really appreciate what you're putting in. And just be aware, no matter what you do, if you've got a true message, there's always got to be a mess to clean up.
Mm-hmm.
When you put something on the table to feed others, they're going to feed from it, no matter what it is you're giving them. Make sure it's good so that they eat it all, so there's less of a mess. Either way you look at it, you always have to clean up a mess. Be prepared. You're a janitor.
That's the number one responsibility in my job, because my job looks like shit if we leave it a mess. It could be the nicest fucking landscaping you'd ever want, but if I leave rocks and rubble and riprap and all that bullshit, it looks like hell. And it does it every time, and it diminishes my ability to present myself in a manner. And it's the same fucking thing as your words, your behavior, your conduct. It's all the same fucking thing. That's why we can get good at anything that we put our mind forth, because it's all the same fucking thing. It's just a different aspect. You were saying your 12 personalities. Would you say, just real quick in closing, would you say that that's much like the totems of the native cultures or of the indigenous cultures?
Much
That's
the
what I
same.
figured.
Yeah, it's the 12 astrological signs. It's the 12 Greek gods.
The
They
different
all,
aspects.
yeah, Greek gods and goddesses, and you got the 12 persons, and just like yourself, you've got two mentalities, a feminine and a masculine. So your
Right.
persons are all going to have feminine and masculine. So you got 12 personalities. That leaves 24 in total. Plus yours is another, how many? 2. So you got 26. What's your genes? XY and XX. What is deoxyribonucleic acid? Dio, God, or duality, gods. XY, XY, and then rib. And then you got O. O is the type of blood. O positive. A positive and B positive can accept donations from, but anybody can receive donations from O negative. Okay. What is nucleic acid? Well, that depends on the pH balance because it's still a water. It still has memory. It's memory from your mom and dad's genes. Your mom and dad's genes. Each gene is a split pair, meaning they have 2 types, both on both sides. So there's 4 types when dad inseminates moms. So now you have a possibility of a baby that can come out that doesn't have mom or dad's genes. Developmental formations in mutation can create something that does not have mom and dad's genes. The developmental phase in the womb is where the mutations occur that advance mankind, that allow those extra genes to come out where they've normally been set back. They're recessive. But somehow, once upon a time, here and there, new traits come about and the species changes.
Are they recessive or are they retarded? And I mean that in the true sense of the word.
Recessive because they're there and they don't come out. Retarded is when something comes and then you retard it.
Right. I'm just thinking, like, when I'm thinking of an idea, I generally come up with like 15 different ways to do it, and out of those 15 different ways, I hone in little pieces of all of them, but reject other parts, and that's why I'm thinking along the lines of being that retardation, because if you eat different foods when your baby is in the womb, the baby will come out differently. I mean, they've done plenty of study on that. That's why they have prenatal vitamins.
They're saying that's because something was applied to the baby, but the baby retarded it. So they're calling the baby retarded, saying it didn't accept a capability, or it came out autistic and lost all these abilities and is exceptional in this one. And that's what autism is. Autism is a bent scale in one's personality. It's not the following of a curved scale of the rest of society. It's a bent scale in one's personality. You guys see my memory? That's a bent scale. Nobody else has a memory quite like mine.
Right.
It's a photographic memory, and I have a hell of a time with it. That's why I say it's simple to me, and I can't comprehend it. I don't know why you guys don't have that ability.
Right. I get what you're saying.
It's called memory. You see where I'm going?
I see it from the aspect that I can do the same kinds of things with other aspects. Like when I describe something to a customer.
Something, you do. A kid with ADHD will sit down in front of a video game and memorize it.
Yep.
Itself is not liquid. He is.
Yep.
That's where the memory is.
Right. Well, I don't mean to take over by any means. I appreciate you answering my
no.
question and your
No.
thoughts.
Well, it brings up the topic too, unindoctrinated says, how can paternity tests be correct then? They're not. They can never be correct. It's only an assumption. And this is proven because you can take many twins and have a paternity test and a DNA test and find different results on all of them. None of them will come back the same.
Wizard. And I wasn't trying to be my best friend since I was like 11 years old. This dude's like, he's a programmer for Apple. Smartest dude I've ever known, like logically. He was always agnostic. We were best friends though. We were kind of yin and yang. And so I think he was always interested in my faith because I had so much faith.
That's all you need.
It wasn't even beliefs. Like, he saw my faith and what I believed in, and he couldn't understand it. And then I was trying to reconcile, you go to college and they're like, then you start picking apart the Bible and all the books. And you're like, oh, this is literal. This can't be true. And then you start to question your own shit. But, I mean, I've prayed my own personally since I was a little kid. I say my own prayers every night. And there's something to that, to someone that's kind of like infallible in their faith, that's intriguing to a scientific mind that can't make ins or outs of what life is about. And I've tried to, me and him had a falling out over politics, and just a bunch of dumb shit. And he was my best friend since I was like 11. And I reached out to him the other day, and yeah, dude, he still doesn't see it, dude. He's like triple vax, has a little kid, smartest dude I know on this planet, and yet so retarded. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I used to think that you were the most genius dude on the planet. I'm like, if you still don't, I can't even talk to you because you won't even, you're the kind of person that will never admit they're wrong, ever. You're always the smartest dude in the room. You got a 1600, a perfect score on your fucking SATs. You think you're a genius. You work for Apple, and you're a fucking slave. And I just sent him a message. He was like, I'll talk to you, but it's only under these circumstances. He goes, I don't believe in your conspiracy theories, your gods, all your conspiracy stuff. He goes, if you want to talk to me, then don't talk to me about that. And I was like, I didn't even say I was going to talk to you about that. I go, but by the way, all of my conspiracy theories came through as true. If you don't want to admit that, that's cool. How are you going to deal with your own life knowing that you've taken 3 jabs and you give it to your son that's like fucking 3 years old? I go, you're going to have to live with that, you piece of shit. Yeah. And I guess he didn't answer. And of course, maybe I'll never talk to him again. And it's really sad to me to be that close to someone since I was 11. And he was my very best friend in my entire life. He taught me a lot, but we're just on different paths, man. And
well, that was like my brother, I'm this gung-ho guy that's going to solve shit, right? But my brother and I loved him with all of my heart. He passed away a few years back, and he was totally supportive of me while I was totally supportive of him. But he was the guy that sat back, and if he saw a cop, he was going to turn around and go the other way. He wanted no confrontation. Whereas me, I'm like Paul. I beg for it. I laugh at it. I want it. They won't give it to me. They're afraid of me now. And it's not so much that they're afraid of me. They're afraid of what's going to be exposed. And, that's because of the way I went at it 7 years ago, threatening them and cussing and swearing, calling them all kinds of names. I've changed my mind on that and realized, that's what was getting me in trouble to begin with, was my own attitude. And so when I changed my attitude and started looking at it as a peaceful thing, if you want equity, you got to first come with equity. So if I want peace in these situations, all I got to do is come with that peace. Well, let's find that peace, because I already know there's peace treaties all over the place and they're involved in it. So all I got to do is find those connections. And that's what I started doing. Law of Nations, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Ultimate Naval Treaties, Geneva Convention, Vienna Convention, Treaty of Berne, Universal Postal Union, the Interparliamentary Parliamentary Union, and the UN. And it's all for commercial purposes, record keeping. Go ahead.
And I've been, for the most part, I've kept my, like, I spoke up for truth in the beginning a lot. I got banned for it. I never had a channel for it. I got, like a lot of people, and then lost a lot of friends over it. And I've been kind of waiting for that, like, hey, gotcha moment. And I don't know how many gotcha moments. I don't want to do that to people and be like, ha, I told you so. But I do want people to see, like, hello, you were gaslighted and you fell for it for the last 3 years, and now it's finally coming out. And I want to be like, don't you see? And then at the same time, it's so clear to me, and I still can't even, someone like that, they're not even going to receive that still. They're going to still be like, yeah, but, and it's just, I don't know where to go with that. I don't, it's the most frustrating thing in the world to me, Wizard, especially for someone that I was so close to. My mom's come around.
Well,
my whole family's come around.
Hey,
like,
Jeff.
Let the dead bury the dead.
You got to do it, brother. I love my mom and dad. I love my sisters. I love them all. But I can't do anything for them.
Yeah.
It's
you can't save everybody.
Dunning-Kruger effect. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect, and there's nothing you can say to them. So the only thing you can do is do everything you can to show proof positive the acts that you're doing that are good and profitable unto men. That's all I try to do.
Well, if I might on this one, in Corinthians, I think it would really give your answer. It says, love is patient, love is kind. Love is gentle, it is not self-loathing, it is not envious, and it never fails. And I think if you, or I would say based off of my experience and how experience is likened to another, when you implement those characteristics, then it doesn't matter if he understands it. It matters that you love him regardless of his understanding. And how do you love him? Sometimes you got to love people at a distance.
Yeah.
You know, what does that look like? Maybe send him a Christmas card. And I'm just, obviously Christmas is bullshit, but you get where I'm coming from. Say, hey, you know, here's what I've learned. Hopefully you can glean from my experience.
Yeah, dude, if I gave it to him all the way straight and said, hey, Mom, Dad, let's not do Christmas because it's bullshit. I can't do that. Not to in their reality. I mean, maybe I could just not participate, but like, there's a point.
What if you could turn around and just make it a gift day every day and just stop by and give them a gift every day or every week or something? That way it kind of dismisses that holiday in and of.
Well, yeah, I know. I get that, Wizard, but I'm like, I'm out here in California and they're in Texas, and the one important thing is that I come home for Christmas, and that was my grandpa's birthday, December 24th, and it's a big thing. And so for my family and their ego and what they need, it's important that I be there. And I think knowing what I know, and I think it's bullshit, do I placate to that? Yeah, I'm going to, because I mean, I love my
you're
family.
not placating to that. You're placating to them.
I'm
You're
placating to
showing that
them.
you love them. And if you ever, I'm sure if you ever found a way to be able to help them out of that vision, then
Yep.
you would do that. But until that day
Yep.
comes, you just got to support.
Yeah.
If I might give you a word of encouragement, I stopped celebrating Christmas years ago. And my family, I grew up in a very Christian home per se. Like we were the Sunday church goers, the whole 9 yards. You know, everybody get in the fucking car. We're going to church.
Yeah, we had that. I was Catholic, Roman Catholic growing up.
Okay, so you understand where I'm coming from. And
Yep.
I stopped celebrating the holiday, and my dad was very angry. It was after my mom had passed, and he was very angry. He wouldn't tell me he was angry, but passive aggressively, he was frustrated and angry. And after years of conversation, just back and forth, my dad doesn't celebrate Christmas anymore either.
Hey, you know what's fucked up, Nubs? Is these panels have become, in a way, come on now, we all known each other now for like a year. There is some kind of connection and some kind of knowing, even though maybe we're all kind of a little fucked up. We don't really know each other. But what I've noticed is the ability for people to forgive and forget in like a day's time. Like there's been a couple of times where I've like made an ass of myself, probably maybe drank too much, and I'm like, ooh, and I'm going crazy and being funny and silly, and then like the next day I'm like, oh shit, did I make an ass of myself last night? And then I realize there's Talcott, and like no, I mean like, and then Snafu and like these people, and like literally they could say the worst thing. They could call Polly a pedo, whatever. Jack Talcott could cuss us out. Wizard could cuss someone out, and then here we are 3 days later, and we're like, "Hey, I love you, brother. I forgive you." And it's something to our condition as like human beings. Is like we're all fucked
I
up,
think
and it's
I
okay.
think
Like
that
it's okay in a way. Like I don't know how. Like in my own life, I would say, dude, I don't want anyone like that in my life again, because I could
Yeah.
just shun someone out. But now seeing this every day, I'm like, are we all just crazy? And is that why people cheat on each other and then just forget the next day? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
Most people,
we're
it's
weird.
cognitive dissonance. Most people, it's cognitive dissonance. They've got so comfortable in life and things are going so well for them as they see it that no matter what the truth is, if they accepted it, it would ruin their life.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
pathetic.
it's fascinating to me. It's like I don't know.
It's an
I
amazing psychology to think that
I
it's an amazing psychology to think you're the boss of your life when you have a license and restriction and all this with boot thugs that are willing to knock down your door, and you never know, it might even be your fucking son. The
yeah.
world is getting that bad. People are getting so self-centered and full of greed. They don't give a shit about their mom and dads anymore. It's a generation separation totally.
yeah,
I don't
I've
know how
seen plenty of
I don't
situations with elderly.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to reach somebody else's children if I couldn't even reach my own.
Yeah, I mean that's the point. It's like I look at the way things transpire in front of me on this metaverse, and I know it's just a metaverse, but like I don't speak to my own mother and father that way. Like I have a certain respect for them, and so I I felt really loved and taken care of. So I'm in a different dynamic than a lot of people. Like Keith's raised in foster homes. Polly's mom wasn't there. There's a lot of people that just their lives were fucked up. And I was very loved, and, you know, I don't really have any complaints about the way I was raised. I mean, my parents got a divorce, and that kind of fucked me up for sure with relationships. I'm 43 years old. I'm a good looking guy, and I've never been married, and I want kids, and I still haven't, and I don't really fucking know why not. I don't know if it's my fucking problem. It's my own ego, my mind. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, I could just go meet some girl and be codependent, but I've been so searching for the best version of me. I'm like, damn, am I ever going to get there? At this point, if I hold myself to this standard, am I ever going to have a companion? I don't know. I don't really know anymore. I would have loved to have a kid by now, and this and that. These are questions I have in my own mind. So it's just it's a weird world. It's a weird dynamic that we live in, because I feel like I would be a better dad now than I ever would have as a younger version of me. But
most certainly, once we go through these trials and tribulations, and we end up in situations like this, what you were talking about, coming up on these panels and talking about this is an unusual situation for many of us. We're sitting here counseling each other, and there's not a fucking counselor around. How does that work?
Yeah.
All voluntary. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're seeking something greater.
Yeah.
I think that's apparently the most important thing we can do.
You had said. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was rude to Wizard. He was in the middle of saying something, and I started speaking.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So you had said something about how do I want to word this? We all just forget and forgive and everything like that. I think that when we live in our own realm like that, I think that it bleeds over into things like the metaverse. Not doing things and doing things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I say, when actions speak louder than words, right? So if actions speak louder than words, and you're sitting up here telling me I offer you trust, and I know the word says no, trust no man, I already know you ain't doing shit.
Right.
The weird part about this whole family thing is that we have been a part of each other's lives more than anyone else. Think about that. I may be more of a part of a wizard's life and Nub's life than I am my own family's life, because
Right.
I see you guys like daily, and I hear your thoughts. And whether you're being fake or not, I don't think everyone's being fake. I think people speak their mind. They're showing who they are, and then you start to resonate with these people that you don't really know, but you become like part of this weird metaversal family that's fucked up. But it's such a weird dynamic, because it's like you're kind of addicted to being part of this metaversal family that you love and you love to hate, and we're all I don't know, maybe it's just because we all realize we're all kind of fucked up but we're all kind of like seeking the same thing, and so like we're all kind of close. So like at some point where there's a lot of people that may feel closer to Wizard or Nubs than they do their own fucking family members. I mean, there's some people that don't even talk to their fucking family members,
I feel closer to Jack than I do to my family members.
Yeah. Isn't that a fucked up dynamic? I feel like I could go, I don't know. Yeah, I could go have some coffee with Jack Talcott, but I don't know if he would pay for the coffee or me, or he would make me decide.
I think I'd be concerned about a knife in my back or poison in my coffee if he were to have anything to do with that. I would definitely have to have some extra eyes, you know, maybe like a drone flying around in behind me or something like that to catch that extra angle of vision. He's a sneaky one.
I think it's just pro labor, no work. So
Right. So what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's what I wonder sometimes. It's like, what do you say to that? So it's the same story. It's been over a year, so I don't. Nubs has said it very eloquently several times, and Jack hates him. I could go up there and say the same thing. It's just gonna throw me out. So, I mean, everyone has the same pretty much opinion. That's in our imagination. It's not facts. So I can't really say anything no one else has already said. So am I going to be the person to fix Jack? No. So why even bother? You know,
We can't. We can only fix ourselves.
Paulie keeps trying, but Paulie's never going to get to him. I think that's Paulie's major mission, is to finally crack the nut of Jack Talcott. And he's not going to give up until he does.
Well, yeah, if he does that, he proves himself to be as good as any psychologist on the planet.
It's his homunculus.
One of the best minds could only possibly be one of the best psychologists, being able to read other people's minds. How many people want to learn how to read another man's mind? How easy do you think it really is if you are me and I am you?
Yeah.
All you got to do is look at the truth. We all live in truth. We're all adult males that know what is right and wrong. Ain't nothing more to it.
Own up like grown up.
Building up, growing up. I'm kind of with Nubs on this shit. Like, it just irritates the holy hell out of me about talking and not doing. It irritates the holy fuck out of me. Like, it makes me so irate to where someone can just sit there and talk about all these things they want to do and say they need help and they're offering something, and then when they're like, hey, why don't you call? He's like, well, I was hoping someone else could do that. I was just throwing it out there. I don't want you to be the one to do it, but
yeah, exactly.
It just fucking drives me insane. Like, I want to go through the screen and be like, dude, you don't do anything all day, every day. You fuck. And it fucking makes me want to fucking strangle some dude. I'm like,
and hold on real quick here. I just want to shout out to everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I put the note up there that Paul is over at Chalk Body Outlines on Get Chalked Up. We're having a thing out with them, and Jack Talcott's over there. And I want to thank everybody that stuck around. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Back to you, brother.
Oh, that should be fun. Let's all go join that one. Wizard,
the adventures.
I mean, Wizard's been very patient. Wizard's done the work. Wizard's a good soul. Never had Wizard's like my granddaddy. You're not really actually. You're just like my daddy.
That's what I said. It's the beard. See, you've got the bottom. Your bottom is white. His vertical is white.
Oh yeah, isn't that weird how the beard works? And you got yours up top. Yours is coming in right there. Okay, we're all different. See,
we all have the sages of stages.
Yeah, no, I have to shave them. I have to shave the caterpillar every so often because otherwise it'll curl right into my mouth.
Right. In my personal firsthand experience, I think that Wizard is very, very. I contemplate those words of coin your words or purse your lips. I have not been coining my words until very recently, and the mindset that changes when you start doing that it's very interesting because when asked what have you done, I can say I have paid your debt. So what have I done? I've cleared something.
Well, like,
And
or
it's
even like what when you can ask like what have you done for rights, freedoms, and I said it to Cynthia that night. I've been doing it. I've been doing it since. I've done it my own way. I'm not driving around with a no license on my plates on my cars, but I did it with the no mask. I did it with the no vac. I did it with advocating a whole bunch of different ways. Maybe
Well,
I
it
can.
goes
I can. I can go.
you're
I
picking
can
your
go next
battles.
level. I can. I can go to another level. I could go
Yeah.
harder with freedom and stuff. But I did
how
stand
many
on.
pieces how many pieces make up a feather, and how many feathers make up the bird?
Yeah. It's
Lots and
it's
lots.
it's like
Yeah.
I said about this story with the 93 cases. That isn't my life story. That's only a portion of it. Wait till it's over. And then you'll
Right.
see the whole bird.
Right.
Right now, all you're seeing is the asshole, and it's got a lot of shit coming out.
You're the whole ass.
Yeah.
Well, that just means we're behind you, Wizard.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so should we go to Chalk Body Outline? All
No,
right,
they're done. I'm not going over there. I just,
I'm good.
yeah, I go over on Paul's, and I'm part of that because I support Paul, and that's about it. Whatever I can do to put in a good word over there, I do my best, and sometimes I get to holler and scream, but again, it's his channel. If he wanted me off, he'd put me off. So we go by that.
Yep.
That's about it.
Well,
And
hey, thank you for the time,
once
Wizard. I love you. I'm gonna sign off.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for jumping up. Good to
Hey,
see
no,
you.
I'm gonna
good talking
peace
to you,
out, man.
dude. I want to talk to you about some building stuff. So I'm down for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm definitely down. I don't want what you have now. I want what we can create in the future.
yep, agreed. Okay, cool. All of us
All right.
should win. All right, love you guys.
Peace. Wizard, as always, pleasure. I'll catch you later.
All right. God bless. Everybody rest well. Thanks for joining me. Remember, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. In the meantime, I love you, but I don't give a fuck whether you love me back. So God bless. Have a good one. Bye.